Welcome to online class with me Nusrat Alam, lecturer in English, Milestone College. How are you, my dear students? I believe you all are fine and very busy with your studies right now. My today's online class is on a very important topic, and this is a topic which needs all the knowledge that we have in English. We have to utilize it whenever we are going to solve this item. Yes, I'm talking about completing sentence. We find it in English second paper, question number 4, and according to our new syllabus, the total mark of this item is 10 right now. So my dear students, let us start our today's class. The knowledge on completing sentence is very essential in our life. Whenever we are going to talk or whenever we are going to make any conversation or going to write anything, we need to have the capability of completing a sentence accurately. Then how to complete a sentence, and why am I talking about this a lot? Because completing sentence requires certain things to keep in our mind. What are they? It is very important for us to have a clear idea about how to complete a sentence properly. In your exams, some sentences are given which are not complete. Reading the given portion, we have to take the idea how can we complete it, and then we have to use the proper words and to complete the sentence. And while completing them, we have to keep 3 things in our mind. What are they? The incomplete sentence might need some relevant words only to complete it. For example, I read in dash. Where do I read? I have to complete the sentence by giving that information. I read in Milestone College. So in this way, giving some relevant information or words or phrases, we can complete a sentence. Again, the given portion could be a part of a well-known proverb. For example, a friend in need dash. So we all know this well-known proverb, which is a friend in need is a friend indeed. So the given sentence could be a part of a well-known proverb. So in this case, we have no other option other than completing the proverb only. And number 3, which is very important, the given portion needs to follow some grammatical rules. There are often certain sentences who strictly follow some certain grammatical rules. So we have to keep all the grammatical rules in our mind whenever we are going to solve that kind of sentences. To have a clear idea, we have taken 2 sample questions today. Number 1, Jhinaida Cadet College, and number 2, Sylhet Cadet College. We will go through those sample questions and solve them, and we will also discuss what are the rules that these sentences are following. So my dear students, let us start our today's exercise practice. For completing sentence practice, this is the first question that we are going to take for exercise. Jhinaida Cadet College Test Examination 2019, question number 4. And the first question says, forgetting dash is common with most of the students because they memorize without understanding. So as the students memorize without understanding, it is really common for them to forget. To forget what? What they should forget? The things or the lesson that they memorize without understanding. So the answer should be something relevant with the given lines. So we can answer it in this way: forgetting the memorized lesson. That means the lesson that they memorized without understanding is common with most of the students to forget. Next one says, honest people are always respected by all. You must have honesty if dash. So the first sentence gives us the clue that honest people are always respected by all. You must have seen one thing, that only one sentence has the gap with it, which we have to work on. But what is the task of the other sentence that is already completed? But still, often almost in most of the sentences, we get 2 sentences like this.
Well, actually, the complete sentence that is given over here gives us the clue how can we complete the sentence. So here, this sentence is actually providing us some information, and honesty, having honesty is the prerequisite if we want to get something else. So what we can get? Respect. We can get respect if we have honesty. But as we have the connector if over here, if is a such kind of connector which connects two clauses, and there are certain rules when it connects two sentences. The given sentence will follow the rules of conditionals, and the three conditionals rule have been given over here, and I have used one common sentence to make this clear to you. First one is, if you come, I will go. The first sentence is in present indefinite form, and that's why we have used simply a future indefinite form. Second one says, if you came, that means past indefinite. And then if the first clause is in past indefinite, the second clause will take would, could, or might with it. And then V1 form of the main verb. And third conditional says, if you had come, that means if the sentence is in past perfect form, the next clause will take would or could, then have plus V3 form of the main verb. Then let's check out what kind of sentence that we have here. You must have honesty. You must have or you will have. So this is actually the future form of a sentence. So the next sentence that we have to add here should be in present indefinite form. And that's why the answer is you want to be respected. If you want to be respected, you must have honesty. Next one. Though Bangladesh is a small country, dash, we are proud of our World Heritage sites. Carefully notice the second sentence, which is giving us us some clue, and that is, we are proud of what? Proud of our World Heritage sites. So, my dear students, you cannot talk about anything else other than World Heritage sites here, and that's why the answer should be she has three World Heritage sites, or you can say that she has more than one heritage sites. Next one says, moral values are essential for building up our character. A person without moral values is. Here, moral values helps us building character. So the person without moral value doesn't have a character, or if a person doesn't have a character, what is he? Is he a human being or what? We have to use some relevant term with it. So we can answer it in this way. A person without moral values is not better than a beast. If a man doesn't have a character, yes, he's not a human being at all. Next one says, education is the process of developing our mind. So this is the process of to develop our mind, but many people of our country are too poor. Yes, we all know many people of our country are too poor, and being poor, are they able to avail the facility of education? No. So, when we have the term too, and after that we have an adjective over here, we can follow the rule of to dot dot to this phrase, this connector. This connector use or takes a main form of verb after them. So after to, we have to add an adjective that is poor, and then we should use to plus V1. So we can answer it in this way. Too poor to afford their children's education. Number F says, there goes a proverb that where dash. Here, the sentence clearly says that there goes a proverb. So we have to here write a proverb over here which starts with the term where. So let us remind what is the proverb that starts like this. Here it is. Where there is a will, there is a way. Number G says, Jibon Theke Neya is a legendary film based on the language movement in 1952. Zohir Raihan, who dash made it. We have to talk about Zohir Raihan, about his activities or what kind of person he was, why he was famous for. something like that. We all know that Zohir Rahan was one of the most famous filmmaker in our country, and he was the most famous in his time. And he is also a martyred intellectual as well. So we can answer it in this way. Zohir Rahan, who is a martyred intellectual, made it. Number Partho Pratim Mojumdar was the first Bangladeshi to take up mime as a profession. He got the scholarship from French government so that he dash. My dear students, you must have heard about Partho Pratim Mojumdar in your SSC standard. So we all know that he got the scholarship from French government and he went there so that he could get some scholarship or get good training on mime. But we have a word or phrase over here that is so that. So that is such kind of connector which connects two clauses, and whenever we have it after in order that or so that we use can, could or may, might, and after that the one form of verb. Can is used if the first clause is in present form. Can, could should be used if the first clause is in past form. Similarly, may for present tense and might for past tense. The first clause that we have here, he got the scholarship from French government. He got the scholarship. So got is in past form. The first clause is in past form, so we have to use the word could or might. So the answer is so that he could develop himself as a better mime artist. The 16th December is a red letter day. On this day, dash. Well, a sentence like this is about general information, and we have to talk about strictly about the 16th December, what happened on that day. We cannot give any wrong information. So, on this day, what happened? We achieved our victory. So, on this day, we achieved victory is the correct answer. Next one, number J, it's the last one of this question, sample question. My test examination is going on. I have studied sincerely. List. Well, this word list use after the word list we use should or might. Whenever you see this word list, we have to use these two verbs, when any one of them. And after list, we have to use a subject also. After that, we should use should or might, and then the main form of verb, the main verb or the base form of the main verb. So we can answer in this way. I have studied sincerely. Why have I studied here other than what would happen? I should fail to make my desired result. Otherwise, I should fail. So this way we have to answer it. After list, we should use should or might.
Could you understand all the rules that I discussed over here? I believe you did. Students often ask how to improve the skill in completing sentence, or what are the methods that they should follow. You need to have a well command or good command over your words. You need to have good idea about grammatical rules, and also you have to use your common sense. For example, if you write something like this, I saw some cows flying in the sky. You might be grammatically correct, but we never see flying cows in the sky. So the sentence must have some sense, or it has to be relevant or rational also. We cannot talk anything whatever comes in our mind whimsically. So we should be careful whenever we are going to complete a sentence. Let us attempt another question.
Now we are going to solve another question, sample question taken from Sylhet Cadet College Test Examination 2019, question number 4. And the first question says, have confidence and work hard. Nothing is impossible for a man who. The first sentence is giving us the clue that nothing is impossible for a man who is confident and hardworking. So it is quite easy for us to find answer with it from this for this sentence using the first clause or first sentence. So here the answer is nothing is impossible for a man who is confident and hardworking. Next one, the boy was indifferent if he had studied hard. Here, my dear students, notice that we have if, and the if, as we have the connector if here, we have to follow the conditionals rule. And here is first conditionals rule, second conditional, and third conditional. Now let us check in which rule this sentence should be followed. If he had studied hard, we have had and studied, the V3 form. That means this sentence is a past perfect tense. So after that, the clause that we are going to use should have the auxiliary verb would or could, and then have plus V3 form of verb. So we can answer it in this way. If he had studied hard, he could have done well in the exam. There are many obstacles in our way to success. We must work hard so that. Already we have the clue. How are we going to answer it? We must work hard so that we can do what? So that we can overcome the obstacles. But we have to follow the rules of so that. As we know that after so that or in order that, we use can, could, or may, might. And we use can if the first clause is in present form. We use could if it is in past form. So similarly, may and or might is also followed in the same way. So the answer could be we must work hard so that we can overcome our obstacles. We must work hard. This one was in futuristic form, future indefinite tense. So we didn't need to use could, we have used can. Number D, it was a long time since. My dear students, whenever you see the connector since, you should follow the rule that I'm going to show you here. Since is a such kind of connector which connects present indefinite or present perfect tense and with past indefinite tense. So if the first clause is in present indefinite or present perfect, the second clause should be in past indefinite tense. And if the first clause is in present indefinite, past indefinite tense, then the second clause should be in past perfect tense. So the first clause that we have here, it was a long time. It was a long time is in past indefinite tense. So the second clause should be in past perfect tense. So the answer is since we had met last. Number E, I have missed the flight. Do you know when? Do you know when? So if I have missed the flight, I must be looking for the next flight. So the next flight, when the next flight will take off. Number F says, corruption is the main hindrance to development. It is high time we. My dear students, check out the phrase, it is high time, and then we have a subject over here, we. So now let's check out what are the rules that we have for it is high time, the phrase. After it is high time, if we have a subject, the main verb will take V2 form. If after it is high time, we have for and then a subject, we should use 2 plus V1. And if there is no subject, only 2 plus V1 should be used to complete the sentence. So after this phrase, we have our subject, so we should follow the first rule. Subject plus V2 form. We raised our voice. Corruption is the main hindrance to development, so it is high time we raised our voice against corruption. Number G. I went to book fair. Had you requested me, I dash. Had you requested me, my dear students, an assertive sentence doesn't start like this normally, but if we have an auxiliary verb at the beginning and there is no question mark over there, you must be very sure about that this is a conditional sentence. So this sentence is actually if you had requested me. Had you requested me is actually if you had requested me. When you find had or an auxiliary verb at the beginning, it is actually replacing the word if. we have to put the auxiliary verb in its proper place after the subject you had, and let us use if at the beginning. Then now we have to check out in which rule it will follow, or which rule it should follow: first conditionals rule, second one, or third one. Had you requested is actually if you had requested, so it is actually following third conditionals rule. So we can answer it in this way: I would have bought some books for you, or I could have bought some books for you. Number 8, my mother woke me up. She told me that I would miss the train unless. So I would miss the train if I don't do something. My dear students, whenever you see we have unless, this is a negative word, and after this we cannot use any negative sentence. We have to use affirmative sentence. So that's why if I miss the train, what might happen? If I don't get up quickly, I might have missed the train. So we should answer it in this way: I'd miss the train unless I got up quickly. My childhood was full of happiness. Would that? Would that is a kind of phrase which is used to express unreal wishes. The rule says for expressing unreal wish, event, or wish, we use would that, if or I wish, etc. And after that, we need to use past form of verb. So after would that, we are going to use a subject, and after that, we should use what? Past form of verb. So here is our answer: would that I could get back my childhood. I have used my subject I and then the V2 form or past form of verb could. And this is how we are going to complete the sentence whenever we have would that. The last sentence says, I think you are not punctual in your studies. Be punctual. List. I believe, my dear students, you can clearly remember what is the rule for the term list. We have to use should or might after list. So, the correct answer is you should fail in the exam. Be punctual. List, you should fail in the exam.
So my dear students, could you solve these questions by yourself? Did you attempt them? I believe you did. Don't you think this is a really interesting item to solve? I believe that from now on you will feel really interested in solving these kind of questions, especially the completing sentence. And we have to keep all the grammatical rules that we have already read in our life or in schools or colleges. We have to apply them whenever we are completing a sentence. We have to be rich in vocabulary. We have to be aware about in choosing words also. So my dear students, with the hope of your better result and better education, I'm going to end up my today's class here. See you some other time with some other topic. Till then, bye-bye.